Something up? It's another...
You'll find little welcome here, Jedi. For your own good, I recommend you speak to Administrator Adari, quickly finish your business in Kunda, and go. I will answer your questions. She was the agricultural administrator of Dantooine. After the Sith attack, she kept us together. Without her, the only thing you'd see... We had problems with Mandalorian mercenaries even before the Jedi Civil War. But after the war, many soldiers from both sides of the conflict became mercenaries. And since we're so far from the core, some started gathering here. The difference between an out-of-work mercenary and a raider is a vibroblade's edge. The only thing we can prove they've done is intimidate if the farmers give them goods, money, or food just to stay on their good side. The only one that isn't scared of them is the There have also been a lot of disappearances recently, and not all of them can be blamed on a farmer here and there, or a family. We lost enough people during the war that keeping the calf hound and... So there are a lot of animal attacks. Kunda is the big building just outside the landing port. It used to be the estate of a man named Matali, but he and his family disappeared around the time of the bombardment. The administrator rebuilt it, and now this is our center of government. I know it doesn't look like much, but there aren't many settlers that live on this planet. This building is the start of something new for... Just head into the building and... You'll find little welcome. I will answer your...
Rentundas, Hoicidan Gelfa, Rentundas, Rentundas, Hoic, Tudentuf Lava, Vapuelta, Sidan Gelfa, Badinudan Gelfa, Rentundas, Hoicidan Gelfa, Vapuelta, Tufadan Gelfa. Hoicidan Gelfa, Sidan Gelf, Tufadan Gelfa, Hoicidan Fandibu Gelfa, Sidan Gelf.
Jedi. Leave me be, Jedi.
Greetings, and good day, traveler. On behalf of the Kunda settlement, is there something I... My apologies. I have no... Error. Memory... May I be overly... Processing. Exterior damage analysis. Level 7 impairment. Multiple casing breaches detected. Bipedal servos misaligned by 32 degrees. Memory storage over. Error. Memory over. May I be over... If you will...
Cara nana gundoso remine ke lorak tu kurukat. Manama tretos. Der winter runt och wakare kwe wapgere.
Hey, get away from that door. The last time somebody messed with it, it was locked down for months before we...
You'll find little welcome here, Jedi.
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. We've had enough of it for a lifetime.
I think Tarn has finally cracked. Running around like a madman, raving that he was being chased by a Jedi.
Oh, Tarn is an idiot, to be sure. But he seemed genuinely frightened.
Do you actually believe a Jedi would return here? After all they've done to...
They certainly would. You remember how they were. Always so superior, so arrogant, and never lending a hand.
I still don't believe it.
You should. My cousin's friend, he used to tend the gardens around the Enclave. He swears he saw a Jedi in Kunda. Could be...
Well, I hope it's true. I hear there's a bounty on them.
Unless somebody beats you to...
Welcome to Kunda. You're a salvager, right? You'll need to see Administrator Adare to get access to the ruins. If you need directions... Her office is directly behind this room. You really can't miss it. She can see you now, if you like.
Are you waiting for the Administrator too? You won't have to wait too long. But if you want results, now that you may never get here. Kunda's like a droid without his power cell. Useless. We have problems all over, and the most you can get out of the Administrator is a...
I'm sick of all their excuses.
I fought in the war, and I know how to use my blaster rifle. If the Administrator or Zeron does...
Salvagers are the problem. They strip bare the ruins that belong to the people of Dantooine. Then, they sell what they find back to us at inflated prices.
I'm not a violent man. I've had my share of it in the war.
But I can't... Well, yes and no. I brought my moisture vaporator to Kunda to be serviced. On the way back to my farm, I took a shortcut next to the Enclave. Damn Lagrix came out of nowhere. I had to run before they made a meal of me. When I returned to retrieve my equipment, the salvage. I went to their camp to get back my moisture evaporator. This smug fellow Joran told me that he found it within the ruins, and by law, it belongs to him now. He said he'd give it to me for the bargain price of 500 credits. I wasn't very happy about it, but the law was on his side. Now, the moisture evaporator doesn't work, because it is mysteriously missing its modulator. Joran.
I suppose you could. Actually, you almost...
If you could go to this salvager camp...
I'm not rich, but I have... It's right next to the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. Just follow the That's great. I'm certainly not getting any help around here. If you need to know anything more, just ask...
A lot of people here hate Jedi. But when they were here, they tried helping us. I don't blame them.
A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Kunda. I am Administrator Turina Adare. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed? Depending on your business here, the pleasure may be mutual, but you didn't answer my question. And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on That is an unfortunate truth, and a wise request, which of course I will honor. Most settlers here hold bitter memories of this. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. My friend, let's just call him Frook. We've known each other for many years. and our continued friendship could create many problems. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. Vrook and I had a mutually beneficial arrangement for several weeks. He went to the Jedi Enclave sublevel recently and hasn't... I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the... We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave security door. Go expecting danger, for you almost Is there anything else? Like many parts of Dantooine, the sub-level of the Enclave, several salvagers have reportedly been injured or killed by the Lagrix. I would expect a Jedi to fare better against the... Is there anything...
Your luck is not of the hapless settler. You are the newcomer. No friendly greetings. I come here to speak to the militia and make them understand a truth. Something of mine they have in their possession. I am done being in...
That's another one for me.
How do you like that?
That's another one for me. That's another one for me.
How do you like that?
Yutapak, Nito, hai bes nikta dochi mapao krawe nosha. Wata lord chiba. Yatuka, uwanrika choti. Huta yanolia. Kavanatagalu. Kavanatagalu. Kavanami donki grato. Bram tabanin soju. Da come jusmak miki baranyeto so rika chondin. Wana magrable. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chiluma lisba. Bram tabanin soju. Da come jusmak miki baranyeto so rika chondin. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima. Huta yanolia. Jukta genit. Bawan maderansha, yukamos krun. Nande misoku kuran marenden krabanosot. Yatuka uwanrika chotin. Bram tabanin soju. Yatuka uwanrika Bram tabanin soju. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani. Kavadumpa, mo wendido chokerembi norta kunyun. Bram tabanin soju. come down.
That's a middle of the moon.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you. Force-sensitive locations such as this absorb and reflect force energy. The crystals are the catalyst here. I sense that Revan once passed through here, leaving a strong impression. Perhaps future Jedi who visit this cave will feel our presence, as if seeing our footprints preserved. The crystals here are infused with the Force. The crystals here do not drain Force energy from Jedi. They collect the excess energy that radiates from those attuned to the Force.
How do you like that?
The crystal responds to you. This is very rare indeed. The crystal's bond with you is such that the stronger you become in the Force, the more powerful your crystal will grow. This crystal will make an excellent focus for a lightsaber. Quite the contrary. Picture yourself as a sieve, and the Force as water pouring into you. This crystal draws from the excess water that escapes. The crystal is in tune with you. It will use whatever water that pours through you.
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be. A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Kunda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try... I'm one of the Kunda militia. They need all the able bodies they can get. I was a Republic. Now I'm the closest thing the militia's got to an... I do. The Kinrath are dangerous. But as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe...
But Dantooine is temperate. There is no need for atmospheric sensors except for seasonal data collection.
Huh? It's just important we get it back. They're expensive pieces of equipment, and we can't afford to replace them. Regardless, I don't suppose you... I just really need them. It's important. Please come to me if you find... I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one. No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one. But I'll...
You've wandered into the wrong camp. You got the look of a warrior, and we got all the blasters we need. If you're looking for work too, just take a trip spaceward. We don't need any more company. Then maybe we can get along just fine. What if we do? They're practically begging to be pushed around. You've seen them, right? They're weak. You sound like a flaming Jedi. I didn't just mean their weapons. I meant their character. They're very quick to blame everyone but themselves for their problems. So the galaxy has dealt them a bad hand. They should ante up and get back in the game. The administrator is different. It's just another spaceport to me. We've been here too long for my tastes. And the settlers... We have to live somewhere. Something those settlers don't seem to understand. That flaming administrator and her cat-hound Zeron can't keep their noses out of our business. There's a natural order to things that they just don't seem to get. They'll learn. Just make sure these settlers know their place. The Republic isn't going to send a single trainee to help this planet. She's got spirit, but she seems to focus most of her effort on trying to get us off this planet. Terena has to learn that we aren't moving. It galls me to think we fought wars to protect Gizka like them. They don't do anything to help themselves, and they don't know how to take responsibility. They're on their own, and either they should start working and stop whining, or else they're in for a tough ride. I have time to kill, talking about... Most of us are veterans of the Jedi Civil War. Some even fought in the Mandalorian Wars. A lot of soldiers have been looking for a place in the galaxy. The really skilled usually wind up here. A Sentient by the name of Azkul. He was an elite trooper from Malak during the Jedi Civil War. We had a contract with the Republic, doing some work in the Outer Rim. But they scaled back, and we were some of the... Now the Republic isn't hiring anymore. I hear they have no... We find ways to divert ourselves. A lot of us find odd jobs. There are many more mercs around than what you see on Dantooine. We're spread out. I have...
Look who's walked into our camp, boys.
new Mandalore. I have reclaimed Mandalore's helmet, lost after our defeat at Revan's hand. Assemble the rest of your clan. You will return to Duxon. We must come together as we were before and prepare to fight a new war. A war that will return us to glory.
And if I take that helmet from you, guess that makes me the new Mandalore. I've always wanted to be called that. I know all about your exploits, Mandalore. We have fallen far in the past years, but even still, I will not stand.
It is unfortunate that you feel that way. Perhaps I'll be able to change your mind.
We'll see about that.
That's another one for me.
Other takers. No, Mandalore. We will follow you. I have no desire to spill any more Mandalorian blood today. Gather your clan and return to Duxon. You have seen the last of your mercenary days.
Yes, Mandalore.
No one crosses me.
Let's get this over with.
You a new salvager? Or one of those Kunda cantina? Oh, is that so? You're no mercenary, and with those armaments, this isn't a social call. You're at least thinking of heading to the ruins. I'm gonna give you some advice. Turn back. Because anything valuable in the ruins was carted away months ago. The only salvagers left are either desperate, ornery, or not right in the head. And while you look dirty enough to be here, I don't think you're any of those things. So go back to If you're not going to listen to anybody, maybe you can help me out. The only place that has anything is the sublevel. And only a couple of fools have gone there. And they're now dead fools. I'd like to do the decent thing and get their bodies, put them to rest. That hole isn't a fit place for a salvager. So, if you find a couple human corpses down there, just grab their gear and their bodies. Us salvagers that are still here have to stick together. I've been here the longest, and I'll be here last. I buy Jedi salvage from the ruins. Slow business now. Sometimes I sell them to visitors like yourself. Besides, that's none of your flaming business. You should have let me know you're a customer instead of letting me think you're some disease-ridden salvager.
Who are we missing? We're one off.
We're missing Joran. I don't see Joran.
That runt of a Cathhound, he's the one with the backpack. Did anybody grab anything from the room? What do you want? I managed to get this sad lot of salvagers to work together. Then we get 2 rooms into the sub-level, and we get swarmed by Lagrex. And even then we fight our way out. But of course the only one that managed to grab the salvage is still in there. I don't even... Are you kidding? Course we aren't. He's on his own. I only wish he didn't have the salvage on. Now, if you don't mind, we're going someplace you can't eavesdrop on us.
Get this over with.
That's another one for me.
This won't take long.
That's another one for me.
Let me handle this.
Take them down.
That's another one for me. Let's take this. Like that?
Take them down.
That's another one for me.
Get this over with.
I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist. Like you, I was looking for some trace of the Jedi. I had heard mention that one of the Jedi Masters had gone there, but I found no trace of them. The other reason was the ruins of the Jedi Enclave, and once I arrived, I felt it was necessary to stay, to protect what was left. Much had been taken from the Enclave, both by raiders and others. Many artifacts were taken from the Enclave, but these thefts, they had to have been done by someone who knew the Enclave well. I suspect the Jedi themselves took the holocrons and... Someone has been taking holocrons from sites across the galaxy. It is almost as if someone does not want their knowledge used to find the Jedi. The situation on Dantooine is echoed in other places in the galaxy. Raiders, smugglers, all seek to plunder what remains of the Jedi. And more so than the Jedi themselves, I fear the loss. Much has been forgotten in recent wars. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War, the teachings of Master Arca, the adventures of Jolie Bindo on the Rimward missions. All of these things are in danger of being lost. What else would you like to know? No. It is something of a mystery why they would. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic... I fear that there is something else at work. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so... It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such thing, but the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the gap... To them, they are both Jedi, with different... Not always. Jedi often fall. They caused much harm on Onderon, for example, in the Uleg Keldroma and Exar Kun, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can... Hate? No. I do. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. And they are supposed to train students responsibly and well, so mistakes of... Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few are... What else? I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you... I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are despite the troubles of the Jedi... And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos... The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will... If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again... Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. Its resources and position on the Rim make it a vital supply line. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems and merely placing some of those... The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the... Plus, there have been times in the past, despite the betrayal of many of the Jedi against the Republic, I must concede that as figureheads, they do serve a vital role. Before you go, I had a question for you. A Force bomb? I'm not sure... No. I thought I had heard mention of such connections in some of the holocrons, but I do not possess them. They are part of the holocrons. I know some of what you speak. It is said that when a Jedi and Padawan establish a close connection, that they can feel each other across distance. The intensity of the connection varies. That bonding is said to also be something that manifests itself in such techniques as Bastila's battle meditation, the ability to touch the minds of others, to demoralize or... It is also said that moments of death or near death may also cause... I've never heard of a bond being lethal. I suppose such a thing is possible. I had not truly believed Bastila's... Thoughts. Images, perhaps, but not actual communication and words. A bond often causes a sensation to be passed along it. Still, I have seen Jedi who have the ability to communicate with aliens and beasts. I do not know. If you would have me, I can apply my knowledge and skills.
Are you sure you want to take this guy with us? I mean, he's easy on the eyes, but he talks like a room full of Jedi.
Let's get this over with.
This shouldn't take long.
Let's get this over with.
That's another one for me.
Is someone out there? Anybody? Yes, I am. I locked the door in here. I thought I was gonna be Lagrek compo. Please, take care of them. Is that you? You must be fierce with a blaster, then. Give me a moment. Thanks for saving me. I thought those... what do I know about moisture vaporators? Hey, can we please talk about this later when we're not in danger of... Sorry, I gotta go. You can meet me in the salvager camp.
the perils of the sublevel. Yes. For now, not only do I get rich salvage, but an even richer... Negotiations are not, and now...
That's another one for me. 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 Let's take care of it.
I feel much better now, thanks to you. I don't think I thanked you properly. I found a few Jedi artifacts down at the sublevels. I was planning on selling them to... Oh, that again. Alright. Durala got there before me, and she just took the modulator because she was loaded down with the other stuff that Sulu abandoned. But after I sold the farmer back his moisture vaporator, I won the modulator. Finders keepers. I've got a permit that allows me to salvage anything on the Enclave grounds. I didn't... Back again, huh? But it's nice to see you again. I found 3 things down there. One's some sort of crystal, and the others look like lightsaber parts. If you give me 1,000 credits, you can have it all. That'll be enough for me to get off this rock. No returns on this. You're stuck with what you buy. Doesn't work that way. Maybe it's worth a lot more than 1,000 credits and you make off real good. Maybe it's a lot less and I make off good. Just don't take too long.
What? Who is that? Oh, you go down into the sub-levels yet? Or... It's a shame about them. Have any luck getting to their bodies? I figure there's about no chance you'll succeed. You have? You managed to find them down there? You're tougher than you look. I have 1,000 credits for their bodies and their personal effects. And no reward, too. You've proven very helpful. I have to go take care of something. I'll talk with you later.
Jaren says you saved him down there. Next time you should ask for a reward.
Back again, huh? But it's nice to see. It was all Tapalay's fault. She said the entryway to the sub-level was safe enough. That area has hardly been explored. We barely got in there. Then everybody started going left and right, grabbing anything they could. It was every man for himself and nobody was watching for Lagrex. Then, before you know it, we were under attack by those beasts. So salvagers were running every which way and they left me to die. All the easy pickings have been picked. Now everything that's worth more than a glass of Juma juice is long gone. So the sub-level is about the only place that's left. And as you might have noticed, it's very dangerous down there. Almost nobody's managed to get anything from down there. Not that it matters. Nothing gets by you, huh? There was a group that managed to get in and got one of the best hauls ever, but they were a damn sight more organized than we were. But they've caused me. They were the first to really get anything from this damn level. They were so confident they went right back in. A bunch of us salvagers waited. Only 2 of the 4 came back, and 1 died right away from his wounds. The other man was gonna be rich, but then he picked a fight with Garabik. It wasn't much of a fight. Then there was no one left. Well, since every last one of them is dead, they're fine just sitting in the militia's headquarters. That's one of the biggest claims ever, and they won't give it a note. So people keep saying that they were owed by the dead salvagers, or that they're related. But Zip, the only thing he's gonna believe is a will. And after some tried to pass less than authentic ones off on him, she was playing you for a fool. No doubt she'd like to find those bodies. That plus a conveniently worded will, and she'd make a pile of credits. Probably not, since you know the truth. Unless you're willing to make a fake will, though, the truth won't help. You look like the type of moron that'll just turn it into Xeron. That may be the right thing to do, but they were the first to really get anything from this. Only 2 of them. Whatever. I think I was the only one that managed to find. Back again, huh? But it's not... Oh, that again. All right. Durala got there before me, and she just took the modulator because she was loaded down with the other stuff that Sulu abandoned. But after I sold the farmer back his moisture vaporator, I won the modulator from Durala in a game of stones. You're a bit demanding, aren't you? If you want the modulator... Okay, here's the modulator. Thanks for saving my life. But do me a...
That's another one for me.
How do you like that? You asked for it.
That's another one for me.
Any luck on getting my... Excellent. How did you... Really? You must have been very persuasive.
What brings you to Kunda? Do you have any troubles to report? I'm here to help. I just hope you aren't here about Garavik. You haven't? Well, that's something. I'm the second in command over here, and we keep getting incidents. If you do have trouble, I'm not the one to talk to. You need... This is... sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. A lot of people are upset with... The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. So it's like Zeron keeps prodding a rank. The mercenaries aren't unreasonable. They're mostly just war veterans looking for work. But Zeron just... So he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Otherwise, we'd probably... It's tricky. You see, I also think he's doing more to provoke them than just investigating every complaint against them hard. He's up to something. If someone could just ask a few questions, turn up some answers, maybe... Just look around. See if Zeron's up to something on the side. So if you happen to find something out like that, you should see Administrator. We should probably talk about something else. I'll tell you anything that's public. I don't know what Sadie is up to. He's working directly with Zeron on that investigation. I've heard that rumor too. People get really riled up about Jedi around here. During the war, the Jedi were a big help here. They did everything for us. I try to stay out of it though. Standing up for... Maybe. Although I don't know why a Jedi would come back here. The only reason... Easy to say for someone that doesn't live here. I'd rather grab an unshielded power coupling than get involved in that. You're not wrong there. For what good it'll do, if it comes up, I'll say what I think is right. You happy? I hope so. You may be my only friend. Talking about Jedi is just... You should see Administrator Adare about that. She'll be able to set you up. You're not a typical Sal... All right.
Dochi monas runta. Yun posoma britushniki. Posoma britush. Hoshman funi wado de kut. Hosh inso. Fasas.
I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or... Talk to Baroon first. If you got any other reason for coming? There are better places to explore and better... I'm sure you got questions. You want some... Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable, but all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so, the whole thing makes me sick. Garovic says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses. But no, you want... I've seen a lot of visitors come through Kunda. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already... I'd take care of it myself, but there are many... Kinrath are normally just... Nobody knows for... Very. That's all you want. You really should... There aren't more... She's smart. She gets things done. Our most talented. So we're lucky the administrator never went elsewhere. I don't have anything to say about...
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. We've had
Had enough of it for a lifetime.
I hope that you haven't run into any difficulty. Is there anything else? What have you learned? I hope that you have... Is there any... I have no doubt that Barun means well, but I have every confidence in Zoran. I would ask you to ignore anything Barun asked of you. He does... I realize that I'm asking you for help, but you must also know that I am the head of this nominal government. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to divulge... There are plenty of opportunities to assist people on Dantooine. Too many, I'm afraid. I would go to the militia headquarters and make your intentions known there. Besides that, just listen.
Hello there! I'll tell you anything that's public knowledge. I've heard that rumor too. During the war, Talking about Jedi... You should see Administrator Adare about... All right.
I don't suppose you're here to hire us. It's been a long time since we've... What if we do? They're practically... It's just another... I have time to kill... Most of us are the really skilled. A sentient by the name of Azkul. He was an elite troop.
Can't wait for those salvagers to ship off this planet. They smell it up.
I don't know about that. They are vitally important pieces of equipment on tectonically or environmentally unstable regions. But do you really need atmospheric sensors on Dantooine? I'll have this open in no time. Child's play.
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? We are highly trained veterans, and you're just a settler with a toy blaster. We're taking the Jedi to Nar Shaddaa. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-hurting head. Unless you want to... What? That's a Jedi trick! We trained against that during the war. It's a Jedi, man! Kill her before she tries something else!
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Kunda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict. Right now, Dantooine is at a critical moment. If Kunda... Still, I'm surprised you were able to get this far. Although you do. Every action has consequences, no matter how small or insignificant they seem. And even the Mandalorian Wars was proof of this. Intentions mean nothing of a greater tragedy. I need to get to Kunda and warn them. They could be attacked. If you wish to prove yourself, then do so. Kunda's in danger. The mercenaries have allied themselves with the Exchange and are planning to attack Kunda. They've been holding off for the right moment. And now, since they lost their captive Jedi, they'll attack immediately. I'm going to try to reach Administrator Adari.
You are the Jedi I've heard reports of, and I am Azkul, leader of the mercenaries. Straight to the point. I like that. I am planning to take Kunda. According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my... Of course, I will pay well. You'd better reconsider. I can't have a Jedi interfering with my plans. There is a considerable bounty on your kind. Men, I trust you can handle this Jedi.
That's another one for me. That's another one for me. That's another one for me.
see you have found the elusive Master Vrook. He's told me that his rescue complicated our situation to some degree. I thank you for finding him, though. Vrook has informed me that the mercenaries devised a plan of attack to annihilate... Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them. Right now, just us and the militia. I don't want to create a needless panic. Though if we lose this battle... Our militia is effective at peacekeeping, but isn't prepared for a full-scale battle. Besides that, look around Kunda and see what you can do to strengthen our defenses. I know that we don't have the perimeter turrets online, and Zeron says there is a considerable chance they will breach Kunda itself. Anything you can do to slow them down. Here is a MasterCard key that will open all of the security doors inside Kunda. Anything that might... Soon, all the civilians will be evacuated. So if you have any business with them, I suggest you take care of it. Whenever you are ready to finalize the defenses, talk with Zeron. Do you require anything? Soon, or...
Thanks, stranger. Thanks, stranger. Thanks. Thanks, stranger.
Let's go.
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along. I guess my ego clouded my judgment as to what's best for Kunda.
Let's go.
We've been told to provide you with anything you need, but we have to keep the news of the mercenaries' plans quiet for now to avoid panic.
Charanana Gundoso remine aquel. Charanana Gundoso remine aquel raktu. Terewana jun konata dela raguno tuna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papa. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane. Terewana jun konata dela raguno tuna. Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Terewana jun konata dela raguno tuna. Dai Der rinto run to wakavre koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan.
That's not something you see every day. Guess they can't take the Jedi out of the exile, can they? Well, whatever. We better keep moving. Didn't mean to waste your time talking.
What's going on?
I was right about you. You are trouble, but you might just be the right sort of... The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize? Inspecting the perimeter, talking to the troops, and coming up with a battle plan. I fought in a war or two, but I'm no general. In my experience, people like you are better at strategy. You want a hand in making the plan, you got it. You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack. That's fine. Better take care of anything you need to. We could use people handy with a blaster. Getting people to join the militia for a short stint would be good. We also got a lot of things that could use fixing. It isn't glamorous, but that type of work sometimes makes a load of difference. Just look around. Off the top of my head, the 3 turrets outside Kunda are on the blink. They went haywire the other day and wounded some of my men, so we took them offline. The men who were wounded by the turrets are holed up in the med lab. But our medic droid is busted. We've had some men lay traps around Kunda, but nobody here really specializes in demolitions. I'm sure there's some gaps that could be filled. The side security door to Kunda has been malfunctioning as long as I've been here. It may be best to just seal it off lockdown so nobody gets through. We got some broken assault droids that have been collecting dust for the last 5 years. If they were working, it would help. If I had it my way, I'd recruit any citizen of Kunda that can hold a blaster. But it's hard to convince peaceful farmers to fight. Maybe dive. When you're ready, come back and...
A lot of people here hate Jedi.
Thanks for the help. Since you're asking me, I suppose I could. I figure I still... Zeron has asked me several times before to join the militia. I expect you...
Welcome back to...
I feel better. Thanks.
What's going on?
Any more trouble for Dantooine.
You'll find little welcome here. I will answer you. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not too fond of my job, but...
Greetings, and may I be... If you will...
Charanana gundoso remine ke lorak tu kuru katala fiadra tora pada no.
Yeah?
Insorana kame Jenish melaka wachino so impos mocha. Ritu ting mipa chichi na.
I was right about you, the mercy. You sure? All right, then we got a lot to do.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. The administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us, and Kunda's, thanks to you, they're gonna have a tough... That's about it. Now, we just need to dig in and wait for the merc... Well, I'll tell them what's there to do. I'm not much... All right, I'll assemble the men. I hope you can speak good. I don't have the words. That was really something. I think any one of them would take a blaster bolt for you now. Let's get ready for the mercenaries. If we fall here, all of Dantooine falls with us.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is... Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by the Sith. My unit killed many Jedi. I'll give you one last chance. Then you've allied with these flaming settlers. The galaxy. I was trained at Malak's Academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
Thank you so much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from this place. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward... I am humbled by your generosity. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve...
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the administration... In any case, I am free to talk about... There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not end. We cannot. We have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from the shadow. Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here, we can plan a course of action and carry the battle. But so far, they remain in hiding. And Jedi continued. You have more questions for me? Because you defied the Council and followed Revan to war. And from that war came another. Do you know how many worlds were destroyed in those wars? Dantooine, Telos, Sirocco? Do you see now why we counseled caution instead? You were the only one to come back and face judgment. But that was because you had lost your connection to the Force. Another casualty of war. No doubt you still blame us for your exile. I had hoped your isolation would give you time to reflect on what had happened. You have more questions for me? We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within our power, we did not influence. Your loss was a casualty of war. Perhaps that is a question you should ask yourself. It is not something I could help you with, even if I... Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force... You have more questions? Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. but a bond that ties two lives together. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible. Perhaps it is Dantooine. Still, you and it is possible that you have more questions? Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dant. Why would they attack you? For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means if you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, and from there you have more questions. Force bonds? But still, perhaps it is. And with you, perhaps still, it is. You have more questions. We were not in hiding, despite what this threat is striking through the Force. There's a reason that we cannot detect it. It is. I do not know. There are techniques, but I do not believe that such techniques alone would be capable of hiding the enemies we face. Jedi sanctuaries, places of learning, conclaves, many of them secret, have been attacked. That requires that our enemy knew of our whereabouts, or had access to records and There was much Jedi teaching buried here before the planet was in the hands of our enemies. Such knowledge could be used to track and kill Jedi. And so much has been plundered from here that now many secrets of the... So I did what I could, attempting to let myself be captured. I hoped that it would lead me to the Sith in the stolen... The Sith attacked this place once, and only they would seek the death of the Jedi with such obsession. With the destruction of Dantooine, it is difficult to sense the presence of any Force users here. If any Sith... Yes, perhaps I wish to see this place one more time, but I had to see it. You have more questions? We are at war, but it is unlike any war we have. Somehow our enemy is the gathering of any Jedi seems to attract them like a beacon. So it was How did you know of Qatar? Few knew it was one of the gathering worlds. But yes, now the planet is no more. Master Zar, Master Dorak, and many more perished there, and we do not know why or how. But all life on the planet ceased. I was not on Qatar when it was destroyed, but now that it is dead, it was after Qatar that the few of us left realized that wherever we gather... You have more... I suppose there is something I should show you. It will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. You may lack the discipline for this, but I will attempt to teach you anyway. This form is considered the pinnacle of Force mastery. Now watch carefully. This subtle technique enhances the duration of many Force powers at your disposal. However, the focus required for this form can drain your energy quickly and leave you vulnerable to Force attack. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
You are always welcome here, Jedi.
Thanks for your help with the mercenaries.
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along. I guess my ego clouded my judgment.
Thanks for helping out the militia.
You a new salvager? Or one of those Kunda... Oh, is that... I'm gonna give you some... If you're not going... And they're now...
It has been some time. The years have not been kind to us both, it seems, but perhaps now they will see the truth at last.
It is not as it was.
But perhaps that is for the best.
We were wondering when you would arrive. This moment has taken some time to reach us, and I imagine you have many questions.
Or perhaps you have come for revenge. No. We will do as we have done. We will wait. There's nothing else we can do. No, the true threat is yet to show itself. It is waiting for something. Us, perhaps, to enter the war. We have seen their soldiers, the remnants of their fleet, but those are symptoms of a disease. It is more bait to attempt to draw us out.
The actual battle is being fought through the Force, not with weapons of war. It isn't about the Republic anymore. The attack on Onderon, something was attempting to use the planet itself, to feed on it, to draw on the power there. You prevented it, but it was a stalling measure. The next time will be critical.
If Jedi gather, if we wage war against these shadows now, then Jedi will die. We will die for nothing. Whatever this thing is, it must be fought by those strong in the Force. It cannot be fought in any other way. It knows this, and that is why it is killing us. If we die, then it will win, no matter what fleet or weapons are brought against it. We cast you out of the Order because you followed Revan to war.
No, there was another. You had become different somehow, changed.
You were no longer a Jedi, but we could not tell you why. Some explanations mean nothing unless the one who suffers comes to the answer on their own. What had happened to you was punishment enough, and the Jedi do not kill their prisoners.
And if you had stayed, you would have changed us, and that we could not allow.
You already know the answer. You've noticed it in those who travel with you.
Have you noticed that when you act, others follow?
Those that travel with you.
They follow you, without question, without hesitation.
Against their instincts. Sometimes...
It is because you are a leader, but that still fails to grasp the meaning of what I'm trying.
It is not an easy thing to explain. Sure, you are familiar with it. It is the bond that develops between apprentice and master when one truly understands another. It is developed over time through understanding of each other. Yet you do it so easily, and we do not know what.
You make connections through the Force, and it resonates with those who travel with you. The resonance is even greater when they, too, are Force-sent.
Your actions affect others more than you know. You draw others to you, especially though...
When you suffer, their spirit echoes it. And when they are in pain, their pain... We do not know. But it is not the first time you felt the weight of so many lives.
And that is why the Mandalorian Wars echo with...
We did not cut you off from the Force. You were merely deafened to it. Because of that last battle of the Mandalorian Wars.
The screams of countless thousands, Jedi and Mandalorians, crushed by the planet's gravity, annihilated.
Their lives still scream across the surface of that dead planet, and within you. To hear the Force over such pain. It is not possible. It was too much for any Jedi to endure, and it is a wonder that you did not die there when thousands perished. All those you had fought with. You cut yourself off because you had to if you were to survive. You had hints of it in the war on Doxon. Malachor was simply the final blow.
You were deafened.
At last, you could hear.
You were broken.
You were whole.
You were blinded.
And at last, you saw.
When you returned to us, we saw what had happened. You carry all those deaths at Malachor within you. And it has left a hole, a hunger that cannot be filled.
In you, we saw a wound in the Force.
In you, we saw the end of the Force.
Yes. You can feel the Force, but you cannot feel yourself. You are a cipher, forming bonds, leeching the life of others, siphoning their will and dominating them. It is the teaching of these new Sith to feed on others, on other Force sensitives. They are symptomatic of the wound in the Force. You are a breach that must be closed. You transmit your pain, your suffering through the Force. Within you we see something worse than merely the teachings of the Sith. What you carry may mean the death of the Force, and the death of the Jedi. So you think. It is not the strength of a Jedi you feel.
He's right. It's all the death you've caused to get here. You feed on it, and you grow stronger. You're like Malachor. It's in you, it's what you are now. You must have noticed as you fought across all these planets, killing hundreds, only to become more and more powerful.
But what's worse is that bonding you have. It hasn't gone away. It's gotten stronger, and the more attachments you form, the more you draw others to you.
And that is why you are a threat to us all. What if other Jedi went to war as you did, suffered the same events, and emerged as you did? What if there was a crucible that trained such Jedi to consume and...
For you, Malachor was that.
What's worse is these Sith that we face. I fear that they have learned the lesson of Malachor all too well. It is what allows them to prey on Force users, to become stronger when Force sensitive.
Somehow they have learned their hunger from you. And so you have brought about the end of the Jedi, and perhaps all the knowledge of the Force. But it is of no consequence. Your ability to make such connections, such bonds, so you are a threat to living creatures and all who feel the Force.
You will lead the Sith here, and that we cannot allow.
Our judgment before remains. Exile. You must leave. And you must leave without your tie to the Force. It is a punishment reserved for only a few, and only when necessary. But we have the power to cut you off from the Force, and it must be done.
Forgive us, but it is necessary.
Do not be afraid. You shall feel no pain, but this must be done. As long as you feel the Force, you are a danger to those around you.
Enough! Step away from her.
What?
Step away! She has brought truth, and you condemn it. The arrogance. You will not harm her. You will not harm her ever again.
I thought you had died in the Mandalorian Wars.
Die? No. Became stronger. Yes.
Is this your new master, Exile? If so, then you follow Revan's path. Her teachings will cause you to fall as surely as he did.
We sought to lure the Sith out, and now they have come to us.
As you would pass judgment on her, I have come to pass judgment on you all. Do you wish to feel the teachings born of the Mandalorian Wars? Of all tragedies that scream across the galaxy? Let me show you. You, who have forever seen the galaxy through the Force. See it through the eyes of the Exile. How could you ever hope to know the threat you face when you have never walked in the dark places of the galaxy, faced war and death on such a scale? If you had traveled far enough, rather than waiting for the echo to reach you, perhaps you would have seen it for what it was. There is a place in the galaxy where the dark side of the Force runs strong. It is something of the Sith, but it was fueled by war. It corrupts all that walks on its surface, drowns them in the power of the dark side. It corrupts all life, and it feeds on death. Revan knew the power of such places, and the power in making them. They can be used to break the will of others, of Jedi, promising them power and turning them to the dark side. Did you never wonder how Revan corrupted so many of the Jedi, so much of the Republic, so quickly? The Mandalorian Wars were a series of massacres that masked another war, a war of conversion, culminating in a final atrocity that no Jedi could walk away from, save one. And that is what I sought to understand. How one could turn away from such power, give up the Force, and still live. But I see what happened now. It is because you were afraid. It is done. She is no more. Take me to Atris. She will have the strength to do what the Council cannot.
She's gone. The handmaidens came for her. They know who she is now. They'll take her to Telos, and Atris will do what she'll do with anyone she thinks is a Sith. Are you surprised? All that talk of hatred, manipulation, and standing on your own 2 feet? Sorry, you don't get any more Sith than that. Still, if we were all judged by who we were in the past, I don't think you'd understand. Yeah, she will, if she can. Are you surprised? All that talk. That's what I was afraid you'd say.
Is something wrong? You look troubled. I can feel it. That is an odd answer. What did you mean by it? Never. I believe in what we are doing. What you are doing. I'm here because I choose to be. I simply do. There is nothing I can show you as proof, except something happened within the Enclave. What is it? Then they do not understand you. That is the danger of being a Jedi. When one separates themselves from others, chooses to lead a life of isolation, denying what makes them a feeling being, it is easy to make such judgments. And such judgments, I believe, are made in ignorance. There is no danger in what you represent, other than your humanity. You change others, but I do not believe it is due to the Force. I believe it is because you are a natural leader, and because you feel connected to the people around you. Where they look at you and see the death of the Force, I look at you and see hope for... And that perhaps a life lived without the Force is not the punishment it is believed. I will understand if you feel you must go alone. I ask that instead, take strength from your connections to others. Do not forsake them.
Who is there?
Who I am is not the question.
I am Atris, Jedi Master, the last historian of the Jedi, the last of the Jedi.
Those are titles, words you cling to as the darkness falls around you.
You are that which has attacked the Jedi. You are Sith.
Sith is a title, yes, but like you, the title is not who I am. It is not what I believe. For you, it is different. Know that there was once a Darth Treya, and that she cast aside that role, was exiled, and found a new purpose. But there must always be a Darth Treya, one that holds the knowledge of betrayal, who has been betrayed in their heart, and will betray in turn. You have bathed in the knowledge of the Sith, but there is not enough truth in such teachings. But it will be a step for you.
How did it happen?
Search your heart. It was never battle that called to you, never battle that caused you to fall. Alacor 5 has touched many things, and it casts its echoes still.
Why did she betray me?
You betrayed yourself. Do not blame the exile. And unlike you and I, there is still a chance that one may be saved. The one that you cast out.
Where is the exile? I had thought...
Oh, she will come, but it will be too late to save either of us. It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it. Your mistress awaits. She has much to share with you.